Good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Rob Banaszak, the pastor of the Institute for Spiritual Development in Washington, D.C., and I am delighted that you have joined us here in this space for our very special Thoughts and Words of Love service. And though the space that we are sharing this morning may have no walls, it is full of spirit and packed with lots and lots of love on this Valentine's Day 2021. And so wherever we are, for any service or event that we are doing with and for ISD together, we manifest as the Institute for Spiritual Development. Now, the Institute for Spiritual Development is a God-centered, spiritually inclusive metaphysical church and community dedicated to our growing spiritual awareness in an atmosphere of unconditional love and acceptance. And so to all who have joined us here today and who will join us when they view this service after today, welcome home. And let us pray. O soul of the world, your voice awakens our awareness. O hand that wrote all, your creation inspires our wonder. O soul of God, your presence reveals our love. As we gather this morning, may we grow from our awareness. May we imagine with our wonder, and may we transform through our love so we can express the miracle of our eternal being as a luminous bearer of light of your essence. And so it is. And now let us recite together the Lord's Prayer, the Lamsa translation, and I will share my screen with you so that you can read along with me. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so on earth. Give us bread for our needs from day to day, and forgive us our offenses as we forgive our offenders. And do not let us enter into temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And now let us join together to say the declaration of principles that unite us. And I will also show them on our screen. And I invite you, if they appear, I invite you to listen as I'm able to read them, especially if you haven't been to ISD before, so that you can really understand and feel what they say and who we are. And because that screen doesn't seem to be appearing, you may just have to listen to me do it. All right, well, I will recite them. Let's see if we get it now. There we go. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that infinite intelligence expresses itself in all existence and in humanity as a manifestation of divine love. We affirm the unity of all life everywhere. We believe in communion with all planes of existence and that meaningful communication flows from this connection. We affirm the divine right of each individual to seek the truth in accordance with their consciousness, and that living in harmony with that truth defines true spirituality. We affirm that spiritual unfoldment is progressive and unending, and that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the mandate, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the personal responsibility of the individual and that we choose our happiness or unhappiness as we apply the laws of the universe. We affirm that life is eternal and that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We believe the ultimate expression of God in our life is unconditional love of our neighbors and ourselves. We accept that the living gifts of prophecy and healing reported in all sacred scripture are an affirmation of divine spirit working through us. And so we're going to do things just a bit differently today. I'm going to offer the lesson, the reading and the homily now, so that we can have some moments to reflect on it after we finish with the homily. And so the reading today is from Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 13. If I speak in tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all that I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship, that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongdoings. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. And that was from the Bible, Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 13. And so welcome again to our Thoughts and Words of Love service. You know, we began this beautiful tradition at ISD, I guess around 2011 or 2012. And it's been a great way for us to remind ourselves as a congregation, as a community, what it means to have love in our lives, as that passage from Corinthians says, have love. Now, there's a point in the service, as there will be today, for everyone to share either a picture or a memory of someone that in their lives exemplifies what it means to have love, and how having that love has impacted their life. We've been reading the book The Alchemist in our ISD book discussion circle for the last 5 weeks. And it's an exquisitely beautiful book that addresses the role of love in our lives and in manifesting our dreams. And there's a passage where, near the end, the boy is having a conversation with the wind. He's in the middle of the desert, and he's trying to explain to the wind what love is. And he says, "This is what we call love," the boy said, seeing that the wind was close to granting what he requested. "When you are loved, you can do anything in creation. When you are loved, there's no need at all to understand what's happening, because everything happens within you. And even men can turn themselves into the wind." Well, how empowering is that? When you are loved, you can do anything in creation. Well, how do we have love? And I think that this word choice about having love in our lives is just beautiful, that Corinthians uses. And you may have heard that passage read at weddings, which it is quite often. But it's really not about having a romantic partner in our lives exclusively. Having love does not mean acquiring love or gaining affection of a person outside of you. Having love means discovering and knowing the love that lives inside you and that is all around you. And in my research for this homily, I found quite a few passages from the Bible that focus on love that are so beautiful. John chapter 4, verses 7 through 8 says, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love." And of course, here, when we hear John use that word, God, however we think of that higher power, however we feel that source in our lives, John is saying that source is love. And conversely, love is that source. So many years ago, I had this epiphany, and it was way before I had delved into my spirituality the way that I've done in the last 10 or so years. But I woke up in the middle of the night, and it was a windy summer's evening, and at the time I lived in an apartment that had a balcony that overlooked the city of Pittsburgh, right on a hill on the north side of the city. And because it was where it was located on the hill, which overlooked also one of the three rivers that Pittsburgh converges on, the wind during certain times of the year would get really, really brisk. And this summer night, it was blowing, and it was blowing the blinds in the bedroom just furiously, but so gently. And the breeze was so warm that I felt myself as if awakened from a dream almost. And somehow I said hello, I think, to God, and I had the words flash through my mind that God is love. I mean, I feel like I was awakened just to hear and see those words in my head. And of course, we've heard those words our whole lives. God is love. I mean, I thought I understood what it meant. But in that moment, I suddenly really understood. And the truth of this like washed over me like that summer's breeze as I was lying in bed next to my then husband, who was battling a life threatening illness. And so this revelation brought me to this point where I understood that anywhere that I was experiencing love in my life, anywhere, whether it was with my partner or my friends or my parents, my pets, the love that I was experiencing was God. God is love. It was the first time that I had ever truly understood that word, God, not as this anthropomorphized apparition that we've seen illustrated so many places, or that we've had in our minds, but as this concept that was so alive and so present in my day-to-day life. Wherever I know love, I know God. And so here we are today. It was one of those beautiful windows that I remember waking up and thinking, oh, God is love. Yeah, I kind of get it. But I knew in the moment that I completely understood. And this Corinthians passage really addresses that so beautifully. And I think it's a great passage because it kind of keeps us real with us metaphysical types and the living gifts that we discover and develop. For instance, it says, if I speak the tongue in the tongues of men or of angels, and I do not have love, I'm only a resounding gong or clanging cymbal. Well, there are those in church that may think that that's what I always sound like, but if we do interpret that word have as to know or recognize or understand the love that is inherent with me, then it means that without that, the rest of it is meaningless. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. So all of our talents and our gifts, including our psychic gifts or our healing abilities or even our intelligence, aren't really helpful if we don't use them with the love that we have inherent in us, or if we don't use them to cultivate love or to express love. I'm not my talents and my gifts. I am not those things. And it is not those talents and gifts that makes me someone. I can only become my fully realized self when I use those talents and gifts with and for love. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. True generosity and sacrifice offered for bragging rights are worthless, but are truly transformative when we recognize and understand and draw upon the love that is inherent in us, the God, because God is love, the God that is within me, that is also within all creation. And so I see this as the difference between being motivated in our lives and inspired in our lives. Motivated being not necessarily recognizing or understanding or knowing love, inspired being that feeling of knowing love. And so, motivation, for the purposes of this discussion, is the impetus to act on something that's coming from outside of you, a reward or a prize, an award or promotion or status elevation, or it might be punitive in some way, demeriting or firing or shaming or humiliation of some sort. So that's the motivation to take action for something. But inspiration is that action that comes from within. You can't not do it. You do it for its own sake first. Like when a creative spark jolts you, a song or a story or an invention idea or a painting bursts into your imagination, and you must stop what you are doing and bring it forth. That's inspiration. Or you lose yourself in the creative process itself. Even if that killer idea isn't actually happening, you simply bask in the joy of creating and creating until something pours forth from you. And this is what the book, The Alchemist, is really addressing, is the understanding and receiving of inspiration in our lives as transformative. The boy, the hero in The Alchemist, has another conversation with the sun. And he says, love is the force that transforms and improves the soul of the world. When I first reached through to it, I thought the soul of the world was perfect, but later I could see that it was like other aspects of creation and had its own passions and wars. It is we who nourish the soul of the world, and the world we live in will be either better or worse, depending on whether we become better or worse. And that's where the power of love comes in, because when we love, we always strive to become better than we are. Love from within, inspiration from within, can transform and improve the soul of the world. And the soul of the world getting better or turning worse is directly dependent on how we choose to nourish it. So the world becoming better or worse will depend on whether we become better or worse. Whether we must consciously choose to make it better. That's the power. Our choice. Because when we love, we always strive to become better than we are. When we love, we always are inspired to be better. When we choose love, we choose to become better. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I'll bet that most of everyone not here on this service has been inspired, truly inspired, to take action to become better than you were. Not being shamed or cajoled, that's motivation, but really striving to be better because of the divine spark and that divine love within. We wanted to be a kinder person, a more loving parent or friend, a more mindful church member. We were so excited about the possibilities of this inspiration. We jump wholeheartedly into our effort, and we find out that, inspired or not, it is not necessarily easy. How about adhering to ISD's tagline, "Let only words of love be spoken here"? Here. Now is about here, on my lips, here in my head. I mean, who hasn't been scolded by someone saying, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all? I totally understand this and do my best to hold on to this idea. But if I find myself with someone like Clary from Steel Magnolias who says, well, you know what they say, if you don't have anything nice about me, if you don't have anything nice to say about anybody else, come sit by me. Sometimes I can't resist that temptation, and there's a strong possibility that I might end up sitting next to her, convincing myself that all of my words of not love are just my venting. Because the truth is, to speak words of love, we have to think words of love. So the converse is true as well. Before we speak words of non-love, we had to have thought those words of non-love. And I don't know about you, but sometimes it feels like thoughts of non-love and their subsequent words of non-love come way easier, don't they? It almost feels instinctive, right? And since many of us probably learned lots of not love thoughts about ourselves as we were growing up, it became real easy to say not such loving things about ourselves in our minds and on our lips. And boy, can those not such loving words pile up in our minds and pour out of our mouths sometimes, can't they? When's the last time you soothed yourself with loving words if you screwed up something big time at work, or if you forgot your best friend's birthday, or if you took out your bad day on your spouse or your kids? I'm sure you were oozing loving thoughts for all those members of Congress during the impeachment hearings, or for all the insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol? And how about that person that cut you off, or who was driving 45 miles per hour in the passing lane, or who was annoying you at the grocery store? Were you thinking and speaking love, love, love? So this really goes way beyond, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. I know we like to pat ourselves on the back if we have held our tongue and say to ourselves, well, at least I didn't say what I was really thinking. But here today, we're called to do better. That's not enough. We have to start training ourselves to think thoughts of love no matter what. Thoughts of love about ourselves. Thoughts of love about everyone, whether we are best friends or sworn enemies. The world just doesn't need more love. We need to love the world more. We need to love ourselves more. We must be love. And yes, our real inspiration from here to be love will require some additional intention from us. We have to develop and have an increased awareness and acceptance of our not love thoughts. They've been a part of our programming. We have to accept them so that we can consciously retrain ourselves to choose only thoughts of love, so that we can and will speak only thoughts of love. So let's do it. Let's do it. On this day of love, let's do it. Let's love more. So I'm proposing the most challenging exercise for us from now to the end of the month. You may have heard a version of it on the Brief Words of Love video I posted on our YouTube channel a couple of weeks ago. Whenever you hear yourself say or think thoughts of words that are not love anywhere at any time of your day, like in the car or at the store, pause where you are. Breathe 3 deep breaths. And instead of just sending love out, because we do that often, sending love out to that person or situation, say the words. Say the words, I love you. Person in line, person who cut me off, person who annoyed me. I love you. Speak those 3 powerful words aloud, as much as they may catch in your throat, especially when they catch in your throat and it's so difficult to do it. Be aware you're not just sending love. You are loving. Pay attention to how you feel as you do this. I'll finish today with the last part of that ever popular Corinthians verse. Listen carefully, not as a directive of moral superiority, but as an aspirational state and a measure by which to understand your awareness and understanding of the love that is within you, and how you might strive to be better at understanding it and expressing it. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Love never fails. Love never fails. Thank you. And so now we're going to reflect on Corinthians and the alchemist and what we are starting to feel about love and understand about love, and taking it right into our wholeness and well-being ritual. And so let's pause for a second to silently reflect on a person or an experience in our lives or in the world that we believe needs more of our love, needs more of our I love yous. Just think of that person or experience and let us pray. O divine healer, hear our prayer. Help us discover more love, experience more love, and share more love so we can fully heal and strengthen and invigorate ourselves and our souls and those people and experiences we now speak from our own lips aloud to ourselves. O divine healer, heal this prayer. And so it is. And so now let us prepare for our meditation today. I'm going to invite you to make yourself as comfortable as you can. If you're going to sit with your back up against the chair with your feet flat on the floor, your spine aligned with the top of your head. and your palms resting just ever so gently in your lap, but open, ready to receive that love. Just relaxing. And before we get started, as we relax, and as we do for all of our meditations, I want us all to begin paying attention to our breath. How it feels when it comes in through our nostrils and down our throats and into our chest cavity and through our body. Just feel it as it holds there, and then exhale slowly and really feel it leaving and feel how it feels. And do that again. Inhale at your own pace and hold, and then exhale. Just remain very conscious of this breath right now. And one last time, inhale and hold and exhale. And if you haven't already, just allow your eyes to close softly at first. And for a few more moments, focus on that breath at your own pace, coming in and out. And recognize that breath as your anchor and tether to our world, this plane on the earth. Know that that breath automatically, instinctively holds you here on this earth plane and is allowing you for a few moments to leave your body. Just dissolve your body from your feet up through your ankles and calves and your knees and your thighs, just dissolving into the ether. And as you dissolve into the ether, all pain dissolves, all anxiety dissolves. All that's left is comfort. As the dissolving moves up through your hips and your stomach and your chest, up through your shoulders, just dissolving or melting away, up through your neck and chin and lips and nose and cheeks and eyes, just dissolving away, your forehead, and finally your crown. You have the sense that you're still present, ever so present. But you're floating as this presence. And in this relaxed state, you're just going to allow these words to wash over you. You don't even have to say them to yourself. Just hear them. Absorb them. God is love. I am love. I love me. I love you. I love everyone. I love life. I love. God is love. I am love. I love me. I love you. I love everyone. I love everyone. I love life. I love. God is love. I am love. I love me. I love you. I love everyone. I love everyone. I love life. I love. And as the tone drifts away, as we embrace this love, this feeling, this notion, this concept, we are ready to return to our world, to this day where we celebrate love, and to our lives where we live love. And so we'll return by taking 3 deep breaths. We'll be quick on the first 2. Let's keep our eyes closed. And the last one, as we exhale quickly, we'll open our eyes. So let's breathe in and exhale. And breathe in one more time. And exhale. And one last time. Inhale. And exhale. Let us pray. O love that is our divine essence, help us embrace and understand our perfection, not as an elusive achievement, but as our inherent state of being, and reveal to us the aspiration for ongoing greatening of that inherent perfection tomorrow, not because we lack today, but because we are overflowing with capacity and abilities to make every rich, abundant, and perfect experience of being the very best it can be. And so it is. And so now it is time to enter into the prosperity section of the service. We've had a lot of time to think about the abundance of gifts in our lives that comes to us through love. But for one more moment, allow yourself to feel that deep appreciation for that abundance, for that love. Because we really can proclaim divine love always has, and divine love always will answer all of our needs. Hold that gift. Know that it is serving. Know that every bit becomes bigger as it is given. And know that we are so grateful for your support ongoing through our events, through your financial support, and through your emotional and moral support through this difficult time. I'm going to cut and paste the link and put it into the chat so that if you want to make your donation via the website, you are able to do that. And once again, I thank you for doing so. I think this is it. There we go. And so we have come to the announcements portion of our service. And there's a lot coming up. I am going to mention that we have one more Alchemist book group on Tuesday, and then we're going to take a little break. And we are going to then begin our next book group at the beginning of March. And we are welcoming Reverend Joanne Dawkins, who many of you may remember from our services as the guest minister who sings during her homily. Spoiler alert, but she's going to be leading a book discussion on the words of love of Rumi, the mystic poet. So 5 weeks in March, it's going to be a beautiful Tuesday evening. Please join us. Sign up now. We are very excited about this experience. She's excited. We're excited. And I know that this is another way to think those words of love that we want to train ourselves to think. So please join us on Tuesdays in March. This week, we are excited because we once again have our Saturdays with Spirit coming up. And I'm going to allow Reverend Fran to unmute and Sylvia and talk about what is coming up, not just this week, but in the coming weeks, because they have booked several wonderful people for you to be able to experience and try out and learn more about so many spiritual modalities. So, Reverend Fran, let me let you unmute. And Sylvia, I will unmute you as well. Ask you to unmute.
Good morning. We have, yes, some exciting things coming up on Saturdays. Yesterday we had a great class led by Lisa Swanger on tarot. This coming Saturday, we have a guest teacher, Reverend Karen Schlember, who was initially from the Sparta Church, now lives in Sarasota, Florida. And she's going to do a workshop on the heart chakra. So that's this coming Saturday. The following Saturday, which is February 27th, Sylvia.
Yes, a guided meditation. So we will do a little bit of healing for the world, a little bit of healing, distance healing for everyone who is present at the meditation, and then a guided meditation on the aurora borealis.
Oh, beautiful.
And I'll mention one more.
Yes, please.
On March 6th, we will have our Lilia Grayson ISDDC. We'll do a class on tarot and numerology. So we're spending a bit of time on tarot. So come join us at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Bring your coffee and And
Yes, thank you, Reverend Fran. And it's tarot is the most accessible, one of the most accessible modalities that we can use as intuitives. And so I think taking that time to learn more about it, to experience it more, to make friends with it is really a wonderful way to just kind of tap into more of our intuition and imagination. So thank you for those offerings. And most of you, or you may have heard Sylvia during one of the Saturday morning events, but if many of you might have caught her on the during our One Nation service, and the reviews of her lovely voice and meditation were over the top. So if you haven't heard her beautiful voice and meditation, please join her on the last Sunday of February. So lots more coming up. Please check the website, and we hope to see you at everything that we have going on. So thank you all. And so returning to our order of service, we're going to do a congregational prayer. I lost it along the way here, so I'm going to find it. And I'm going to share my screen with you. There we go. And this is called Love is the Spirit of this Congregation. And so let's just say it together. I have beloved presence out there, but it's actually love is the spirit of this congregation. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell in peace, to help one another, and to seek the truth in love. For nothing can endure which does not have its foundation upon love. For love alone does not seek to diminish, but shines with its own light. It ends discord, softens the fires of hatred, restores peace to the world, and unifies humanity by bringing injury to none and healing to all. And those who invoke its aid will find peace and safety and never have fear of the future. So be it. And so this is where I'm delighted. I'm going to put on gallery view, and where we would have our messages, I'm going to invite everyone, because this is our thoughts and words of love service, to if you've got a picture that you want to hold up or share or send via chat, and just talk about, with words of love, a place in your life, a person in your life where you know love is there, where you have love, and how that love has impacted you. So, who would love to go first? Anybody? Did I meet people? Okay, now you can unmute yourself. Now you can all unmute yourself. Sorry.
I can go first. Hi, this is Robin.
I knew.
I'm not sure how this will come out, but let's see here. Oh, yeah, okay. That is Chester, and he's was a sweet little cavalier who never was mean or greedy, or he really, to me, showed really unconditional love. He was like my buddy, and so I always think that I need to act more like Chester in my life, and just even if somebody does something I don't like, I can just kind of look at them like they're a little strange with a cocked head, and then just walk away. So because that was always Chester's attitude. I never saw any meanness. He never even when I would try to scold him or punishment, like one time I tried to take a dead bird out of his mouth. He didn't really growl, but he kind of looked at me like I wanted to do this. He was actually like, why? I wanted to eat that. So anyhow, that to me is the an example for me, and an example of pure love. So anyhow, that's enough. Here's again. Here he is again.
Gary, please share. Thank you, Robin.
Okay. Good morning. Can you hear me? I'm
Yes.
good. I don't know if you can see me or you just see the photo. I don't know how this works really. Everything good?
Yep. Yes, sir.
I don't exactly know what year that was, but it was 19 years ago this weekend, St. Valentine's Day weekend, that I met my birth mother. And that's a huge, big deal.
Wow.
That's one of the best pictures I have, and certainly easy to find in the photo, in the camera.
Beautiful. That's
And,
beautiful.
of course, that's my little boy, and he's now 19. So she met her biological grandson before he was a year old. St. Valentine's Day. I was 33 years old at the time, and she knew we were coming. We drove across to Akron, Ohio, and she had 33 Valentine's gifts for us.
You have a 19-year-old kid? What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
You wear it
He'll
well,
be
my friend. You wear it well.
20. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks for being here with us, being a place for me to be. Thanks.
Thanks, Gary. Anybody else want to share? Carol.
I didn't really prepare for this because I wasn't anticipating it, but I'm going to just spur of the moment it. For one thing, and a picture is upstairs but not here. Today would be my grandma's birthday. Yeah. Uh-oh. And her middle name was Valentine.
Wow.
And she was born, I think, in like 1897 or thereabouts. And she made it to 98 or so. But I wanted to talk about my grandma, and I wanted to talk, let's see, the birdies here. So this birdie in the corner is Graybird. And I love all my birdies. They've been like, and they have been and still are. And the ones that have passed away and the ones that are still here are my great teachers and stuff. But Maria Bird and my grandma, they both exemplified the most astounding characteristics of elegance, grace, dealing with challenges like nothing. They withstood challenges, but they explored the world with grace and open-mindedness and adventure, and Maria wasn't an Aquarian, but my grandma was like a many times over multiple Aquarian. Just, I don't know. When you have examples of animals that are extremely loving, extremely curious, graceful, elegant, patient, just like the thing you read today, patient, kind, astounding. So I would say I love many, but when I think about role models, along with some others I'm not speaking of, I think of Maria Bird and my grandma.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Carol. And thank you so much. Olivia, I think you had your hand up.
I did. I got down and dusted some photos that I am not really able to bring to ISD. So this is a photo of my mother and I. And then here's a photo of my dad.
Oh, beautiful. Wow.
And these are beautiful people who adopted me. I am an adopted child. And they weren't planning really to keep children. They just were taking in foster children. We were in California, but of course they fell in love with one or two of us. And the extraordinary thing about them is that they are the reason I am here today. I was a birth defect baby, and let's see, the county of Los Angeles was not going to pay for the open heart surgery needed to save my life. And they figured it out and had a few nurses and people who worked in healthcare in their family. And they went on a crusade to come up with the money to get me the surgery. And so here I am today, thanks to them. They are awesome people. They are awesome people. And I wanted to remember and send them my love to wherever they are in spirit or in realms known, unknown, different airplanes and the like. Just wanted to say thank you to them.
That is just beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Olivia. Thank you very much for sharing that beautiful story. Anybody else?
I wanted to introduce y'all to my kitty.
Hi, Kitty.
This is Bastet. I call him my little temple kitty. And he is really rambunctious, as you can see. I'm going to let him go. But he's really been helping me get through the pandemic and just stay positive. And you know how animals just give you that unconditional love. Also, he really is rambunctious, so he's very entertaining, you know. But really, that has just been the thing that's kind of helped me keep my heart open while we're going through this terrible time.
Our fur babies are priceless and precious. So,
yep.
Thank you for sharing, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to share? Anybody? Steve, yay.
So that's my sister and my nephew. And these are people who I love very much, and they love me. And they're interesting because these are people who challenge me regularly. And I have no desire or ability to walk away, which is something that I might quietly do. You know, I wouldn't make a fuss. I would just back away quietly. And so I can't do that with them. And there they are. So I thank them and I love them.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Steve. Handsome nephew. Beautiful sister. Runs in the family, clearly. Would anybody else like to share?
I do have grandchildren.
Martha?
Yes.
Is that you?
Yes, that's me. I'd like to share my grandchildren's pictures. I have 5 grandchildren, and they all give me special joy. And I have some of their pictures here. This is the oldest, Emily. These are not all, these 3 are the oldest 3 are all college graduates, and Emily is the one who is in law school and in a wheelchair because she has cerebral palsy, but she is just a heroine of mine for being in law school with those challenges. Here's her brother, Eric. Eric, who just graduated from Tufts University, and he's the one who rescued someone from the metro a few years ago by jumping into the tracks and pulling out a man who had fallen in the tracks in the metro station in Boston with 2 minutes before a train came. So that's pretty heroic. But anyway, he's just graduated from Tufts with a degree in math, and he's planning to go to med school. And this is Julia, who just graduated from Middlebury officially yesterday. Wow. And won a special award. It's one award that's given at this particular graduation for representing the spirit of the class, for academics, for caring about people, for doing everything to represent the spirit of the college. So that was pretty exciting yesterday. And then I have two other grandsons who live here in the area. They're a little bit older now, but this is a picture I have of Dario. And all of you have also, these are the two grandsons who live right here in Kensington. And Leo graduated from high school this year, and Dario is now 12. So that's not, he was 5 in that picture, but he's now in middle school. So I get more joy from my grandchildren than anywhere else, from anyone else. It's just a very special joy that I know all grandparents understand. So thank you for letting me share.
I can't believe
those
I
special
graduated from high school. Oh my God.
That's right. That's right. Leo graduated from high school this last year.
It's just,
Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else? Thank you all for sharing today. This is really special. So we were in the church. I don't know if you guys remember, but we had the table and it was all lit with candles and rose petals, and we could put our pictures down. But Olivia wouldn't have been able to bring those beautiful pictures of her parents to the church. So I'm really delighted that she was able to share that with us today. And Gary wouldn't have been there at all. So I'm really happy. Anybody else? I'm going to concur. I'm going to finish with. Go ahead. Oh, Jim. Hello.
If I can, I don't have any photographs because there is no album large enough to contain the images and the love of the Institute family. Each and every one of you has a special place, certainly in my heart, and I know in one another's hearts. And on this Valentine's Day, special love to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. I think. All right, so I'm going to just share this album real quick because I love my babies. So over the years, Wade and I have had many, many animals. And so I'll share the screen and we can just whip through the pictures. But this is our dog Hilo. This is our dog Gandalf, who is one of the lights of my life. An angel, to be sure. This is Hilo. This is Merlin the kitty. And this is Snoopy, who is one of our charges. We dog sit before COVID. We dog sat during the day, and that's Merlin and Hilo. Whenever we would catch a good picture of them, we would grab the camera. And then we had Hilo. We got Hilo in 2017 or 2015, and then just under 2 years ago, we brought this little vixen into our world, and this is Starbuck, who has ruled the home the minute she walked through the door. So she is the queen of the house. We love her very much. She's a beast. She's a little dangerous when she's not in the house, but in the house, she is just lovely. And then finally, these are our kitties that we had. We've had lots of animals together. So that's Forever, and that's Kathleen the kitty, and that's Simon the kitty. So lots of animals, lots of love. Our philosophy has always been there's always more love to give for animals. And so you never replace any of them, but you can have room for more of them always. So lots of love here today, guys. Thank you so much. And let us just finish our service. I'm so grateful that you were here. We took the time to share. It means a lot. And it allows us to get to know each other a little bit better. So I will pull up my service and we will move forward. So let us pray. The thirst for our communion has been quenched. Our awareness of the divine love within has been awakened. As we go forth in the world, let us claim our lives, let us create our lives, and let us love our life now and always. And so it is. So once again, thank you all. You can stay unmuted. You can chat for a few minutes. I appreciate you being here. Dave and Claudia, good to see you.
Hello.
Hi, Jan Kiefer. Thank you to Virginia Wake, who's also here. She was one of our readers last night, so appreciated her presence. She has hit the ground running with readings, and delighted to have her on our reading.
Mm-hmm.
And Reverend Ken also was here as a reader, and Reverend Olivia was as well. So thank you all for being there for our psychic fair. Ginny and Nick, I feel like we're old friends after our alchemist discussion. So welcome. Thank you for being here. And Anne Moore, miss you, Anne. Miss your healing touch. I can't wait to get it back. Can't wait to be there with you there. Anne's touch is magical. If you haven't had a healing from her in our church and have her touch your shoulder when she gets started, it's just amazing. So we miss it very much. And Robin Hall, hello.
I see Crone. Hello, Crone. Haven't seen you in a while. Awesome.
No, I don't think so.
There's Jen.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
And Robin, I knew you were going to share the story of your dog. I knew that. I had a feeling. I'm glad you did.
Yeah. I still miss him. I keep wanting to get another Cavalier because they're just great dogs. Yeah.
It's a beautiful painting. Did you paint?
Is actually it's not a painting. It's actually just a enlarged picture that kind of lost some of the focus. So yeah, it does look like a oil painting. Yeah.
So cute. So
There's Robin. Hi, Robin.
Olivia, I thought your story was so moving. There's so many people who do these acts of kindness and they never know where it will lead. Like, wouldn't it be wonderful if they saw what you'd become? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Did they die young, or did they see you growing up?
Thank you, Claudia. They are so special to me. Not so much. My mother died when I was 20. My father died when I was 28 or 29. And so I was still flailing then. It wasn't quite me yet, but I think they thought I was probably off to a good start.
I'm sure. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for saying so.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well,
guys, have your day full of love and more love. Love more. And say I love you more.
Can Jay, Tina, do you have a view of yourself? Jay and I had texted, and I can't
Jarny. Yeah, that's Jarny.
Jarny. Okay. Right. It just says Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's Jarny.
Jarny, next time I'm gonna bring a picture and share my screen of a picture of you, and you don't have any control over it if you don't show your face. So
we're ganging up on
you. You pick your image. But thanks for being here.
Yeah. Everybody have a great week.
I'll see you all next week. Bye. I'll see you all next week.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's
Day. I'll see you next week.
Happy Valentine's
I'll be home
Tuesday night.
Yes, you are. Martha's on the podium next week. Yes.
Right.
Healing Circle tonight at 9.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Bye, Gary.
Bye-bye. Bye, Claudia and Dave.
Bye. Good to see you.
Someday. Next week.
Be all together.
Yes, Sunday.
We will.
Healings tonight?
We do it. We have a prayer circle, so we do it remotely. So we don't gather anywhere. We just pray remotely at 9.
At 9 o'clock.
Hey, I have to show this picture because it's really bugging me that I didn't point it out.
Oh.
Claudia.
that this is Casey Bird, because Casey Bird's also in heaven with Maria Bird, and Buddy Bird is still here with me. But I keep looking at Casey and saying, wow, she was such a love light for me too.
Oh, she was like going, when are you going to show my picture?
So I could, my heart was just tugging at me to highlight Casey Bird too.
It's like the Academy Awards. The person that wins the awards forgets to thank their spouse. You know, you got to pay. So you don't want Casey Bird haunting you. So,
These birds are like lifesavers at times, as well as beautiful companions.
wonderful. All right, my friends.
All
Happy
right.
St. Valentine's
Bye-bye.
Day. Thank you. Great
Happy
service.
Valentine's Day,
Wonderful.
everyone.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, Karen.
Bye. Congratulations, Martha.
Thank you.